It is going to be Keen versus Polt, map number 2 at the TSL4 qualifier, guys. So stay tuned. It's happening now.
Whoa, man.
I don't know what just happened. I got disconnected off TeamSpeak, but it doesn't matter. I am back. As much as you guys try to get rid of me, Hotbit, it will never happen. I will troll you consistently.
That was I like prepared that opener and everything, man.
Sorry,
it was like
Samuel.
fucking spot on, man. What are you doing to me, man?
I don't know. TeamSpeak kicked me off, man. I don't know what happened, but it's back. It's ready.
That's it. So, top right of the map, you have your blue Terran. It is MvP.Keen. He is one map down in this series. Everything hinges on this. He needs to perform and catch up to his opponent, who is spawning in the bottom left of the map as the red Terran. It is TSL.Polt.
Alright, so it is on Daybreak. A very big map. So I'd be surprised if we saw Keen go for gas again like we saw previously. It is a lot less likely to do any damage with any light aggression. He could still go Club Banshees, I guess. So I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll most likely see a one barracks command center by both of these guys. Keen is actually going to take gas here. So this is going to be harder for him to pull off it, or any damage at all. He didn't really do too much previously. I mean, he killed a bit, I guess, but not as much. So far, Polt's defense has been pretty solid. Always going one barracks command center into double gas here. So once again, a great TVT. TVT, like Zerg versus Zerg. I mean, the mirrored matchups have always, from the general census, have always been kind of boring, I suppose. A lot of people do complain about Zerg versus Zerg being boring. PvP was boring. TVT was boring. But to be honest, the way that the matchups are evolving, I think they're becoming, you know, the better matchups sometimes. I mean, Zerg vs. Zerg is great, a good PvP, and I've seen some sick PvPs recently. And then, of course, Terran vs. Terran is just such a strategical, beautiful matchup. Really, really is. The movement of Terran vs. Terran, Marine, Tank, Medivac versus your opponent's movement is always great to see. But with this double wall off from both of these guys, I wonder if Polt may think that he is just going exactly the same as Polt is, you know, copying the one barracks command center. But in reality, there's a double gas coming down here, so we are going to be seeing a Club Banshee opening once again. The factory is positioned at the southwest of the... What's going on? And with the factory being placed there, is that the factory in the bottom left is going to be a little bit more difficult to scan. But Polt will land a scan eventually at that, you know, standard 6-minute time in the center and be like, oh, okay, there's double gas been mined for a very long time, and can pretty much piece together what is happening through his opponent. So it's all going to be about that 6-minute scan, or 6-minute 30, I guess. I always say 6-minute, but the orbitals are a little bit later than they used to be. So it is going to be at that.
Not as tight on the scheduling. You know, you expect Terrans to be a little bit more sharp about that sort of thing, but they've been slacking recently, not too good. In any case, from the technical difficulties, that's always something that happens around me, so I apologize for that, guys.
Oh man, it's your fault.
It's all my fault.
But what we're seeing from Polt is like barracks, and then like second barracks, then double gas. Or double gas then second barracks, sorry. But with the double gas pretty early on is that he's able to get a factory really early on. For the Viking, for a potential Raven if he wanted to, but also for an early tech lab. And he can get combat shield stim nice and early on. I do like this little addition, but Keen again, playing the same, going to be Banshee. Is he going to dedicate to Cloak this time?
He is, actually.
Yes, he is. So going to have to do damage here, but Daybreak's big. Banshee's got to fly, need a lot of petrol. May not get the distance, or gas.
Fuel.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, we'll see. I mean, the cloak...
May not take petrol. Well, maybe a diesel.
Maybe a diesel helicopter. Runs on hydrogen, man. I mean, in any case, though, he's going to have to make it count, because we saw in the last map that it wasn't that effective. I mean, sure, he got a couple kills without Cloak, but still, Polt was ready. He saw it coming, and already is on the money, and he sees this time, Polt that is, that Cloak is being researched. And so he's going to be able to, you know, get prepared. And immediately, what do we see go down? An engineering bay. So he will have turrets to deal with this. And Polt is sitting pretty. He's probably got a grin on his face.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that engineering bay coming down, turret and Viking cancels this out really, really well. But Polt is still not out of the running yet. There's still going to be holes. Turrets won't cover the cloaked range everywhere. They'll cover the mineral line, but tanks, supply depots, marines could always be vulnerable.
There is that spot.
Yeah, there's always going to be a spot available, which is why this rush is still widely used. But let's see how good that Polt is actually defending. There's no turret down yet. I wonder if he thinks it was a fake. If he thinks that was like a fake cloak and it was going to get cancelled, he's going to be in for a surprise.
Yeah,
but there is a turret down.
There is a turret down now. There are marines in position as well to help defend against this. So we'll see if this Banshee gets fended off or not. In any case, it's taking the slow route around. And he sees the engineering base. So the cloak is down, and he is already getting some SCV kills, so up to 2. Gonna get third, yeah. But the Viking is in position, the turret is up now, and there is also enough energy for a scan. We'll see if Polt...
Too many SCVs.
Yeah, that is actually quite a few dropping to this.
6.
Going for the engineering bay now.
He's not scanning either, because he wants to save it. With the Marines coming in, he will scan if he can get a couple of hits off with the Marines. He's not going to, so he doesn't scan. If he goes back in, he'll try, but that's a lot of SCVs killed. So, 8 in total.
So far, this is actually, Keen is making it work for himself.
Yeah, that works. That absolutely would. There is a second Banshee as well on the map.
The first one escapes
and it gets away.
Look at this. Now what's up? The second one comes in, and he's like, yeah, hey, cool story, bro. I heard that you just used, your 50 energy on a scan. Well, what's up? I hope I'm not ruining anything for you, buddy.
Yeah, the Viking does get a kill. Stim is ready, scans, and it will fall down. 2 Banshees do fall down in total of 8 kills. And to be honest, that Banshee, the second Banshee, didn't do as much as it would have liked, but it's equaled up the game. That's for sure here. Things are pretty smooth for both of these guys. We have additional barracks being thrown down for Keen. One thing that Keen really did suffer on last game was not getting double engineering bay after dedicating to such a heavy club Banshee rush. I know it's difficult, but against Polt, who will go double engineering bay almost every time, of course aside from now where he had to get it out nice and early, you've got to be sharp on those upgrades, man. Like, all about...
Those marine
if you think about it,
man,
like just one extra attack damage on a marine spread across 50 marines. Think about that. That's like 50 plus damage per cycle if you have 50 marines out. So it's a lot of damage.
Marines are squishy. They're not exactly the beefiest characters in this game. So we'll see how things shake down. Although here in the top left, we do have a Banshee making its way again. So actually, very nice timing here from Keen because he's going to catch the army just as it's moving out. There are a couple marines left in the base, and there is a turret in position this time around. So Polt will be aware of this. Or will he?
He should be, but he's taking more losses here. Polt shows his great TVT in the first game and previous set as well, but now he's actually taking a little bit too much damage here from this Marine, from this Banshee.
He's only got, those Marines are softened up now, and it's still getting kills on the SCV line. There's 2 tanks and a bunker in position to deal with this forward aggression. Although, yes, you're right, the Vikings are going to give him air superiority.
Yeah, he's going to have sight range, despite losing a lot. It's smashing 9 kills. And another SCV. 15 SCVs killed. If Polt doesn't do severe damage here, he's in a world of trouble.
This is going to be so very brutal.
And he can even see the 2 tanks without a Viking because the barracks and supply depot can see it. And he takes a bit of damage already. And
oh my god.
Polt is in a world of trouble, man. The tank sieges up on the high ground by the barracks. He uses his command center, and he will get vision. And he will kill both these tanks. Oh my god, Polt. Oh my god.
And another close Banshee comes out now, so the Marines will be just bitch slapped. So really what we're seeing here is that Polt's decision making, but I was really expecting more from his defense, to be honest. Yeah,
it was just, he's took too much damage from the Banshee. Despite having the 3rd command center out, it doesn't really matter when you're really far behind in terms of that. If you look at the SCV, the SCV can actually, he's really far ahead, Keen is. And Polt though, 32 to 57. That's pretty big, almost 60 with 3 command centers almost done here. So, I don't know.
Polt has got some catching up to do. Almost double the supply as well, and that's just brutal.
That command center is going to go down in a minute.
Yep.
And that's when things get really difficult. And Keen is pulling out all the stops this time around. Double engineering bay this time too. Polt is under pressure. Does not have a second engineering bay. Does not have SCVs. And to be honest, when that Cold Banshee does that much damage and the counterattack doesn't do anything, this is what the game looks like. 50 supply difference. It's pretty massive.
And this poor Viking, this lone Viking just chilling up here. Oh, Polt looks like he wants to try and clear up a little of the map here, but the thing is that there's still so many tanks and Banshees and Marines and just a bit of everything here available for Keen. The upgrades are wrapping up as well. And, you know, this is the double engineering bay. We saw Polt exploit that to his advantage in the first map, and now we have Keen, you know, it's going in his favor.
Yeah, and everything's going in Keen's favor at the moment. Just third base earlier, bigger army earlier, tanks earlier, upgrades earlier, everything. Like, there's nothing that Polt can hold on to right now and say that I can still win if I push this advantage. He doesn't have one at all. So the only way that he can really come back into this game is if he beats greedy and takes an early fourth base, if he cuts corners and that basically is the greed, or that he catches his opponent completely out of position, even if he does. Even if he catches it on siege, like, it really doesn't matter because it's still strong.
This Banshee harass has been phenomenal. It still survives. Well, we do have a bit of a Marine engagement here. More Marines for Polt, though. The reinforcements are going to change that, however, and he is going to be forced out of that position.
Yeah.
But Keen, I mean, he's got tanks, Polt doesn't, and that's going to make a big difference when it comes down to the engagement, because all of a sudden he's going to be able to push forward into that natural should he decide to do so.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for something that Polt can hold on to here, and it's nothing, man. There's nothing for him. Keen is just dominating this, unless Keen command walks his army into Polt. That's really the only thing here. There's just the upgrades, the army count, the medivac count, the third base being saturated on double gases here. This is really, really one-sided at the moment, and we are about to have Keen try to go for the killing blow here.
I love this experience. You can tell the experience as well, because Keen, he's so far ahead that he's got the money, and he's not leaving anything to chance. He's throwing down turrets everywhere to make sure that that one kind of decision, that like big drop or something that could change the flow of the game, isn't going to happen. He's just trying to close every door, and even abusing the fact that, hey, okay, I can drop from this position right into your main. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because, you know, Polt has a small amount of army, doesn't really have enough army to spread around here, and if you start spreading too much in his main base, Keen can just walk down and kill everything on the Zelma
Absolutely right.
Here. So this is really tense here for Polt. He was trying to get back from a big, big disadvantage in this game. Keen is unsieging and will look for a different angle. Of course, he can't just move into siege tanks, but he can definitely look for a different angle to take this fight from, for sure, and I'm sure he will. He's going to go to the north position and come behind the third base here, I guess. No, he's actually going to turn around. No, he's not. Go to the third base, Keen. Go to the third base, Keen. That's where it's all going to be open for you. There's nothing there. There's a supply depot, a spot for Polt, but nothing. Polt now sees that there's no tanks on the high ground anymore, and I think that,
he's gonna have to pull back. He's gonna have to pull back immediately. But there are just so many Marines, so many tanks there that sure he has to siege up now. But what's up? They're just continuing the march to the third.
Unfortunately, this is gonna be checkmate now.
Yeah, Polt has got no answer. Those Marines are gonna be obliterated.
God.
One salvo takes them out. What's up? There's still Marines
for Keen. Die.
This is brutal. No, this.
Yeah, and I think Keen doesn't even care about the third anymore. You just go for the kill.
Yeah, he's got so many tanks.
Oh, okay, he's going to play it safe and just go the third. I mean, everybody likes to just go for the kill, but Keen's not going to do that. He's just going to go there.
Playing it he's already lifted it up.
He's already lifted. He knows that Stim Marines can bring that down really, really early on. And Polt now in a difficult position, 70 supply behind, and Keen just hasn't dropped the ball. He's got another army coming down the south side too. And this is just checkmate. This is like, hey, try to make a move. You can't. You don't have any moves available. Checkmate, GG. With Keen holding this position, Polt will try. This is what happens, man. That King can't do anything here.
There are only two tank siege. If you can manage to pick off a couple of them, that's all right. But yeah, not quite fast enough picking up those Marines. They get obliterated, and the third as well. And this is really just it. Yeah, exactly right. That Polt really has no more options.
Now the upgrades are in Keen's
caught in the trap.
Too. Man.
It's a box. It's a cage.
It is.
No way out. That is it.
And with these tanks sieging up, bam, big volley again. But look at Keen's new army, which could easily flank. You can unsiege everything and just A move and sandwich this all. And proper squish. And oh no, Polt's going to move down. Keen scans. He knows he can siege up on the high ground and just hold this position. And now that allows, naturally, Keen to bring his main army up to the natural, which is completely undefended.
There are some tanks on the ramp, but it's just not going to be nearly enough. I mean, they are getting some salvos off on the Marines, so that is a fantastic thing. But then again, hey, what's up? You have so many tanks, and they're just hammering away at your production. And the massive death drop, the doom drop, comes into Polt's production facilities, and this is worst case scenario. Keen is going to clean up his entire base, and there's not a damn thing Polt can do about it.
And Polt's going to try and clean up this up. There's so many tanks that all the Marines will fall anyway, and he can't even get to the tank line. And now his main base is left exposed. And the great thing about this game is that